Is this true about Roman Reigns? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is and whether or not it is true. Roman Reigns is obviously one of the GOATs, arguably the greatest of all time, depending on who you're talking to and what kind of day it is for them. Roman Reigns has had his ups and downs, but when it comes to the tribal chief persona, the Bloodline storyline, that gimmick, and that faction, it has endured as one of the greatest one-punch storylines in pro wrestling history. For years, Vince McMahon tried to make Roman Reigns the top guy, and for years, WWE fans pushed back. It wasn't that they didn't like him, it was the feeling that Vince McMahon was forcing him down their throats with booking decisions that didn't support his character. Instead of backing up Vince's vision, WWE would book Reigns in strange programs or have him say odd things. If you look back, Roman Reigns wasn't particularly likable initially. He garnered go-away heat, not because he couldn't perform in the ring or cut a promo, but because of poor storylines. His appearance wasn't terrible, and he was just another guy. However, Vince McMahon saw potential in Roman Reigns, and he was right in that regard. Yes, Vince is still a controversial figure, but his vision for Reigns was spot on. Roman Reigns reinvented himself during the pandemic in 2020 by returning as a heel, a move Vince was initially against. After splitting from The Shield, Reigns came back with a completely different persona and gimmick, aligning himself with Paul Heyman. This collaboration set the roadmap to success. Reigns chose to go home during the pandemic to care for his newborn twins, pulling out of WrestleMania as a top guy and betting on himself. He told Vince McMahon that he would not return to the company unless he could do things his way. This decision paid off. Now, in 2024, Roman Reigns' journey has been, to say the least, interesting. He dropped the undisputed WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes on the second night of WrestleMania 40 after he and the Usos defeated Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins on the first night. He then took a hiatus for several months. Of course, fans knew he was going to return, and he did so at SummerSlam, costing Solo Sikoa the WWE Championship and effectively turning babyface. Solo had run off Paul Heyman, and Reigns declared himself the new tribal chief. Since then, he has recorded victories over the Usos and Sami Zayn. But is this true? This was the question I asked myself, and I have an answer for you. Is it true that his babyface run has been lackluster? Is it true that he doesn't act any differently from his heel run? The answer is yes, 100%. Let's address the fact that his babyface run has kind of sucked. WWE has been trying to build up Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa so much that they have to use someone to elevate them. Solo Sikoa, in particular, isn't over yet. He's just booked in the spot he's in. The Usos are a bit of a joke job. Jimmy Uso is serious, but he's being held back by his surrounding cast. For Roman Reigns, he doesn't act any differently than he did during his heel run. They messed up his music for whatever reason, deciding to remix it. His first theme song was a banger, and fans are pleading to bring it back. Reigns doesn't act any differently. He's just a more lost character. I don't want to say he's weaker, but he's definitely lost. The reason for that is he does not have his mentor, Paul Heyman, who was the wise man to the tribal chief and guided him where he needed to go. Without Heyman, Reigns isn't booked as strongly as he once was because he lacks that compass to guide him. This is a storyline they're trying to convey, also aiming to build up the new bloodline. Reigns' babyface run has been lackluster. Some weeks he comes out on top, other weeks he doesn't. As a babyface, you need to build sympathy, but Reigns doesn't apologize to Jey for what he's done, doesn't apologize to Jimmy, and doesn't even apologize to Sami Zayn, the one thing Sami Zayn wanted right on that SmackDown episode. Then they rushed everything together, and it didn't make much sense. But that is what's happening with Roman Reigns right now. So, yes, it's true that his babyface run has sucked because he's not a true babyface. He's just a less focused babyface in terms of his actions. Yes, he's technically a babyface, but he's really not. He still acts like a heel. What sets him apart is his alignment with babyfaces Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline heels, and he receives a humongous ovation when he comes out. Other than that, His gimmick has not changed, his character hasn't changed. It's just a watered-down version of it. As weird as that sounds, if that's what WWE wants, if that's what the fans want, and if that's what Roman Reigns wants, then fine. At the end of the day, Roman Reigns will still be one of WWE's biggest stars. The Bloodline storyline will remain one of the most captivating storylines they've presented over the last almost 5 years, and everything will move on and be fine. However, if you want to grade his babyface run, it's not been the same. I don't want to say it sucks, but it's just not the same. It's been disappointing, if you will. I hope that changes. I hope they get Roman Reigns back where he belongs, in the forefront of our minds as a highly profiled star with his character absolutely dialed in. I look forward to seeing that happen. The fact that they don't have Paul Heyman anymore is significant. Heyman was the one who provided the face reactions and served as the wise man to the tribal chief, guiding him where he needed to go, guiding him through the rocky waters that his war with the new bloodline entails. Roman Reigns is battling Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso, trying to get Jey on board and Jimmy to stay in line. All of that is very important and will take months to figure out. Within months, we will know that it all comes down to Roman Reigns with the original bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, and Paul Heyman. These are some of the best characters in company history. You have Roman Reigns, arguably the GOAT. You have Sami Zayn, one of the most underrated WWE stars in history. And you have the Usos, the greatest tag team of the modern era and one of the greatest tag teams ever to step foot inside the squared circle. The cutoff promo, the performance in the ring, and the overall magic behind the bloodline are the driving forces behind Roman Reigns' success. In summary, while Roman Reigns remains one of WWE's top stars and the bloodline continues to be a compelling storyline, his current babyface run lacks the depth and focus that made his tribal chief persona so impactful. Without Paul Heyman and the strong guidance he provided, Reigns' character feels lost and less compelling. However, given Reigns' talent and the strength of the bloodline, there is hope that WWE will reinvigorate his character and restore him to his former glory as the centerpiece of their programming. Is this true about Roman Reigns? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is and whether or not it is true. Roman Reigns is obviously one of the GOATs, arguably the greatest of all time, depending on who you're talking to and what kind of day it is for them. Roman Reigns has had his ups and downs, but when it comes to the tribal chief persona, the bloodline storyline, that gimmick, and that faction, it has endured as one of the greatest one-punch storylines in pro wrestling history. For years, Vince McMahon tried to make Roman Reigns the